Hey guys, Scripture here with another video. Daisy Ridley hopes to reunite with John Boyega in new Star Wars movie. Okay, Young the Sea premiere. Daisy Ridley playing accomplished swimmer, blah blah blah. She couldn't walk the red carpet without taking some questions about the upcoming Star Wars movie. Okay, she was asked if she'd like to reunite with her Star Wars sequels co-star John Boyega. Well, that's a bit of a loose term. They were together and co-starring in The Force Awakens, and then Rian Johnson decided to flip the script and have her and Kylo Ren have some sort of love relationship. I guess serial killer equals hot and desirable. It's such a bizarre film in so many ways. And then in the Rise of Skywalker, JJ kind of tried to bring that back around a bit, but in the end, ultimately, Rey and Finn did not have much screen time together at all. So, co-star is a loose term. John Boyega's character was definitely sidelined, not used properly. And now probably what they're going to try and do is make up for that if he does come back in this movie. Oh, now we're going to make him a Jedi, and now we're going to, have the love interest with Rey, this much time later and blah, blah, blah. Because that's what they do. They write crappy stuff, people complain, and then they try to fix it. But by the time they try to fix it, it's way too late, and the damage has already been done, which of course it has. So I don't see this as being a success in any way, shape, or form. She says, absolutely, of course, when she was asked if she'd like Boyega to be part of her upcoming Star Wars project. It feels like we should, yeah. Earlier this year, Ridley addressed other sequel stars popping up in the Rey movie during an interview with Variety. No, because I don't know what is or who is who. Ridley explained when asked if it would be weird to make a Star Wars without Boyega and Adam Driver or Oscar Isaac. So much has happened for me since the Skywalker saga. I feel like a grown-up now. When I first started, I was like 20. I was the youngest on the set. It took me the first two films to feel worthy of being there. Now I'm in my 30s. The whole thing feels quite different. I've been able to work with other filmmakers, and hopefully I've gotten better as a performer. And this is kind of, I listened to that interview. Like, Daisy Ridley was fine. She was fine. There was no issues with her acting in the sequel trilogy. I don't know anyone that has complained about her acting. In fact, all the acting was actually pretty good. They cast people that knew what they were doing. Her character and the negativity that has been foisted upon that is totally due to how her character was written. It had nothing to do with her acting ability or anything. So I think she feels like she slighted fans to some degree if you watch some of her interviews and stuff, but that's not the case. Like, no, you didn't. You had nothing to do with it. You were under the umbrella of a foolish president of a company that is being run into the ground and being allowed to be run into the ground by somebody who doesn't respect what came before. And of course, I'm talking about Kathleen Kennedy, and allowed these directors to have a pissing contest instead of writing a proper story together and figuring things out what they wanted to do. So she's just not a good leader. She just allowed these guys. If JJ was going to do what he did with The Force Awakens, I don't like a lot of it, but if he was going to do that, then why wouldn't she have made Rian Johnson work within that framework? She didn't. She said, yeah, Ryan, you do whatever you want. Change whatever you want. I don't care. So, anyways, all that to say, I don't think there's much else in this article that needs to be discussed. I just wanted to discuss just the fact that now they're going to try and fix what they didn't do with Finn and Rey. At the beginning of The Force Awakens, Finn asks her if she has a boyfriend. He's clearly interested. She's not interested in him. And they slowly built a relationship over the course of the film. And you got this impression that they were going to kind of do that kind of love story where, the one of them doesn't really like the other one, but then they grow on them, and then they you got that impression. It's sort of a classic, rom-com thing, right? Where, the woman just has no interest in this guy, and then he slowly, through chivalry and doing different things and being a part of her life, she falls for him, right? And again, Rian Johnson went in a completely different direction, and now you're talking about a film taking place 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker. There's a lot of problems with that. I've done videos, I'm not going to get into that, but just as far as the Finn and Rey relationship status part of that. So what are you going to do? Now you're going to have Finn come back and become a Jedi now? I mean, how old is he in 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker? Like in his mid 40s, I guess, something like that. So you're going to have a guy who trained in his 40s. I mean, I'm not against that, I guess, but it's just, to me, the ship has sailed, you know? But they're going to do this, I think, because that's what they do. They try to course correct mid-flight instead of just making a decision and saying that's it, right? And then we saw that with the sequel trilogy, of course, as we've already discussed. And so they know fans wanted Finn to be a Jedi. They failed in doing that. Rian Johnson sidelined him, sent him to Canto Bight on a completely meaningless storyline. And so now they're like, oh no, you know, people wanted Finn to be a Jedi. Now make him a Jedi 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. I feel like they're going to do that. And it's too little too late as far as I'm concerned. It's corny at this point. It would look dumb. He should have been a Jedi in the sequels. Him and Rey's love story should have been part of the sequels. That's what I did in my Sequels Reimagined, if you ever feel like watching it on my channel. It's so obvious that was the route to go. And it impacts the story so much, and Finn is so vital in my Sequels Reimagined. He's really the character that ties the whole story together and everybody together. And his impact as a Jedi and as a Jedi who fails, but then ultimately succeeds in a way that is so Luke Skywalker-esque and yet different at the same time, is what the sequel should have featured. And they didn't. And so now to go to that, to me anyway, as somebody who rewrote them and saw the characters for what I think they should have been, to me this is too little too late. I don't want to see Jedi Finn now as in his mid 40s. It's not exciting. And the thing is it's not okay. Let me rephrase that. I do want to see it. I want to see him as a Jedi. But the fact that they didn't do it in the sequels and then they're going to do it now would totally cheapen the character. It would reek of like, oh, we're course correcting. Do you know what I'm saying? And then people aren't going to buy into it. And then if they don't make him a Jedi and he's in the show, or in the movie, excuse me, and they don't make him a Jedi, well, then that's even worse. And then it's like, so there's... To me, bringing him back would be just problematic in a million ways. Maybe he shows up at some point and says hi, but I just don't see how you can do it. I mean, and if you do go the love story route where her and Finn are now a couple in this new movie now, or have been a couple, say, since the end of The Rise of Skywalker, then you're essentially saying that Finn is just like the rebound guy. Like... He's like, yeah, you know, you were in love with that serial killer, but I'm still into you, so cool, let's go. It's, you know, the galaxy only has, like, you know, hardly any women in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would just seem weird and forced if they were to have a love story. So then the other option would be what? So if he's not a Jedi, because that seems corny at this point. They're not in love, that's corny at this point. And it's like... yeah, I'm just like the secondary. I'm the guy you fall back on because your serial killer guy died. So then what? Then he's just a guy? He's just himself from The Force Awakens. He's made no progress. He's just like a guy. Former stormtrooper guy. So I don't know how they could possibly swing this and have it not be problematic. And have it not be ill-received by fans. I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section if you can think of a way to do it that isn't going to seem fake or just trumped up. If you can think of a way that it would seem a natural flow, let me know in the comment section. As usual, guys, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Always helps the channel, and check out anything else on my channel. And like I said, if you want to check out my Sequels Reimagined, where you get the story of Rey and Finn that I think is... killer, and I've been told it's really good. So anyways, if you do feel like checking that out, check it out, and have yourselves a really good day.